everyone, welcome back. I'm Brandy, and this handsome guy here is my husband and his gorgeous hair. Alright, so as I mentioned in the last video, he's going to get a haircut. I promise I'm not going to cut very much off. But he hasn't had a haircut in a year. So I'm going to pretty much even it out, and then I'm going to thin his hair out so it's a little bit more manageable. Alright, so right now what I'm doing is I'm saturating his hair to get it wet because it's easier to cut his hair while it's wet. And then I'm going to section it out. One thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, no copyright intended because he's playing a video game while I'm cutting his hair. So there's that. So for starters, we're going to section out his hair. And normally when coloring hair, I like to do 4 quadrants. But since I'm cutting it, I'm only going to do 3. So I'm just going to start here about right behind, well, so it goes right behind his ear. And that'll be the first section that I'm going to clip back. And then do the same thing on this side. Just because when cutting his hair, I like to focus on the back first, and then I'll work my way forward. But in the meantime, we want to keep the front separated. And I'm just using regular hair clips just because he's got a lot of hair like I do, and it's just easier. Alright. And then just comb his hair back, make sure there's no tangles. And then
let's talk about missions. The various services
I'll be using this clip to tie it up in layers. Okay, so after you separate it, you want to try to get this line down here as straight as possible, because it can affect how long each layer is. Which you can always go back and fix it, but it's good to get it right the first time so you don't have to worry about it later on down the road.
You can look up mission information on your handset.
I'm going to clip up his hair. And then this is what I mean by he's got a lot of hair. Like the top part of it's wet, but down here closer to his nape, like the nape and his neck and stuff, it's still very much dry. So I'm gonna have to wet it completely. And since he also has very curly hair, having it wet is gonna help a lot too. And we're just going to focus down at the middle. So as I'm looking at it, I can already tell his hair naturally kind of went into a U shape, even though last year when I cut it, it was straight across. So we're just going to adjust that so it's straight across again. I'm probably only going to remove about 1 inch because he doesn't want to lose much length, but also hair grows a ½ inch a month approximately. So he's already gained like 6 inches since the last time. So he's probably not going to notice 1 inch missing. But then again, it's my husband, so he probably will. Right?
Probably.
Yeah. Alright, so I got my shears, and you want to hold it like this. So you're going to put your pinky into this top ring, your thumb through this bottom, and you're going to rest your pinky on this little lever thing. Okay. And usually you're going to hold it like this. And when you're cutting, you don't want to go past this knuckle. Because if you go further than that, talking from experience, you can cut yourself right here, and it's really annoying. So I'm just going to keep working my way around, adding to where I made that first cut.
There's little time. Please get ready to go at once. There's little time.
And you just go like that. Typically you want to keep it taut, but he also has a lot of hair, so there's that too. Just make sure that's even.
If you're not complete. There's little time.
And work my way back around to make sure it's even everywhere.
Now that you're officially. If you're not complete.
And you want to work your way all the way around. You should not be standing in one spot while you're cutting hair. Alright, now at this point, I'm going to ask him to put his head down so I can make sure there's no ledges in his hair. Because that's why, like, when you're at a hair salon and they have you put your head down, it's because it shows that ledge, so you want to get that cut so that, like, everyday life, you accidentally put your hair down. You don't want that noticeable, like, difference in length. Alright, babe. Put your head down. And I'll probably have him do this, like, every couple of layers, too. At least, like, the next couple. You can put your head back up, babe. And now we're gonna move on to the next layer. And with how much hair he has, I like to do small sections and like small layers just to make sure it's all even. And you're about to see why.
I could have done it blindfolded. You're the man. I can't wait to see how you do it full time.
Lots and lots of hair. Alright. Once again, have to spray it. Okay, so the reason why I want thin layers is because you need to be able to see through this layer to be able to know where you're cutting it to. So that means I'm gonna go in, figure out where it ended, and cut his hair. Like, yeah, there we go. You gotta see where the hair ends on the previous layer, and you're gonna match it. But if that layer's too thick, it's gonna make it very difficult to be able to see through and see your line where you're supposed to match it.
Make sure they don't go to waste. Check the pods before every.
Alright, go and put your head down, babe. With going back and checking your work, because you can't always expect it to be perfect the first time, especially with like as his hair dries, it will like shrink back up into the curls. So that's why I have to keep like pulling his hair down and making sure everything's even. The base cut done, I also like to throw in some low layers. You're gonna leave some hair down at the bottom, and you're gonna hold it like this and cut. So the shortest layer, you just go up to that knuckle, and then you bring it up a little bit more, and you go where the shortest layer is and cut to that knuckle. I'm just gonna cut it so it's straight out. And that's when I reach that point. And just let it drop, and at that point you got your low layers. Now from there, I'm gonna grab another section that includes what I just cut and use that as the basis for what I'm going to keep doing.
Yeah, easy cake. It's can take it out. Will I make first?
Depends on the quality of work. Your main task is diversion. Run amok and gather attention. Do well, and you'll gain favor with Director Lazard.
That'll be a cakewalk. Just watch.
Activating combat mode. Conflict resolved. Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Activating combat mode.
Take that! Eat it!
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
And you can grab sections and make sure it is straight across. Because when the hair lays down, it lays down at an angle because of the curvature of the head.
This is Lazard. Enemies appear to be lurking in every corner. Will not fall easily.
Yeah. Just now,
Now I'm going to add
it was jumped.
his front pieces to it,
Trapped too.
and then I'm going to thin out his hair. Some low layers on the side, but instead of doing them straight out, I'm actually going to pull them back. Like this.
Come and face us, soldier!
I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And you also want to leave some hair down over their ears, just so you don't have like some random like spots missing.
Oh yeah!
Zach, nicely done. We have successfully occupied the fort. I just needed you to keep their attention, but impressive. You did well.
Okay.
Keep pressing forward.
Alright, so that's that. Now I'm going to thin out his hair. So these are thinning shears because of the teeth in it. So it's going to leave some that aren't going to get cut. And one thing about these, like, if done correctly, you don't like it'll be fine. But if you keep cutting at it with it, it will do the same thing as shears. It's just at a slower rate. So we're gonna act like we're putting in some layers in his hair, and then we're gonna go up like this, and I'm only gonna hit it like 2 or 3 times. Comb down, and you pull the excess out.
Activating combat mode.
Grab another section.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
And comb out the excess. Only really gonna do this on the back part of his head because that's where his hair is the thickest. Sometimes I've seen professionals do tricks like this.
Activating combat mode.
Sorry, babe.
Conflict resolved.
Oh yeah!
Might even have to do this in smaller sections too. Because how much hair he has. Oh, you've got like gray hairs mixed in. It's so freaking cool looking at the dimension in your hair. His hair is so thick that even after all that, it feels like nothing was cut off.
I'm here. I must apologize. Being on site is taxing.
You didn't have to come personally.
This operation will bring an end to the war. I wanted to see it through. The day you make first may not be far off. And you,
Spray it with some water to
he definitely has potential.
get that curl back after all that tugging on it.
I can say this now, but when it...
Alright. This is the back. See all the curls. Like even just like a part of the back of his hair,
Activating
and
combat
it's
mode.
like still like super thick, and that's not even all of his hair. But hopefully that's enough to try to help. Alright, and that's it.
Director Lazard,
Got his hair trimmed, nice and healthy.
I should be fine now.
And I think we're done because his back is starting to hurt him. So,
Yeah, I'm on it.
alright. Anything you want to say? You tired?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Well, I'm going to edit this before I go to bed. Hopefully it should be up by tomorrow morning, which is Friday. But yeah. Have a beautiful day. Bye.